let's go kick some honey buns!
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the iconic voice performances in animated films released between 1990 and 1999. So sorry, The Little Mermaid and the Emperor's New Groove.
When it all ends, I'll have old Buzz Lightyear to keep me company. For infinity and beyond.
Number 20. Vin Diesel as the Iron Giant. The Iron Giant. Cold War paranoia meets all the feels in this unfairly overlooked gem from 1999. The Iron Giant is a gigantic robot from outer space who crash lands on Earth and befriends a 9-year-old named Hogarth. The two form a bond that only works because of the giant's voice actor.
No following.
If you didn't already know, the Fast and the Furious actor Vin Diesel has a long list of voice acting credits. Although much of his dialogue is altered and edited to sound more mechanical, his deep and resonant voice gives the robot's metallic roars a lot of humanity.
I've always wanted to be a part of the animation world, and the only way that I could do it was by lending my voice as an actor. And that's why it was like a dream come true for me to be the Iron Giant.
Number 19. Mary Kay Bergman as Sheila Broflovsky and Others. South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. It says a lot in a movie where Satan and Saddam Hussein play major parts. Sheila Broflovsky is the villain who truly stands out. Mary Kay Bergman reprised the role she played on the controversial TV series for this big screen musical extravaganza.
You saw that movie again?
Yes.
Well, Kyle, I have had it. You are grounded for the next 2 weeks.
She didn't just voice Sheila either. Bergman actually provided the voice for several of the moms in South Park. So much of the Oscar-nominated song Blame Canada is really just her singing with herself.
Blame Canada! Blame Canada! With all their beady little eyes and flapping heads so full of lies. Blame Canada! Blame Canada!
Bergman, who was nominated for an Annie Award for her work, tragically passed away a few months after the film's release. Number 18. Chris Sarandon as Jack Skellington, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Voice duties for the central character of this morbid holiday classic were actually shared by two performers. Danny Elfman didn't just write all the songs for The Nightmare Before Christmas. He also provided the eerie singing voice of Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King, who becomes obsessed with the holiday.
What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I must be dreaming. Wake up, Jack. This isn't fair.
Later, actor Chris Sarandon was cast as Jack's speaking voice because of his similarity to the composer's voice. Together, they created Jack's unforgettable sound. Even when you know he's played by two people, you can't really tell the difference between them. They're both completely at home in the movie's dark universe.
Forgive me, Mr. Claus. I'm afraid I've made a terrible mess of your holiday.
Number 17. Tim Curry as Hexus. Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest. It's no stretch for the beloved British actor to portray a true monster. He's played his fair share of villains. Tim Curry left his unmistakable voice to the character Hexus, an evil entity who was trapped in a tree by a curse. Once he's freed, he's a sniveling, growling thing who's only interested in eating oil, smoke, and every other noxious material you can think of.
Acid rain pouring down like egg chow mein.
He also gets a memorable music number, and Curry makes a 5-course meal out of it. His voice is dripping with so much malice, it actually makes our skin crawl.
Slime up above. Ooh, you love my toxic love.
Number 16. Tony Jay as Judge Claude Frollo, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yes, Disney has had some unforgettable villains, but how many of them actually got a song that invoked hellfire and eternal damnation? Judge Claude Frollo is a man driven mad by his own repressive beliefs and warped sense of justice. In other words, he is a nasty piece of work.
It's not my fault. If in God's plan, He made the devil so much stronger than a man.
It should be no surprise why this dastardly villain has such a regal air. His actor, Tony Jay, was a member of the Royal Shakespeare Company. Jay's nefarious purr of a voice is the essential ingredient that really makes us fear and hate the judge.
You are making your bid for immortality. You are in a movie by Disney.
Number 15. Ming-Na Wen as Fa Mulan. Mulan. The original plan was to have performer Lea Salonga do both the singing and speaking parts for Mulan. However, the filmmakers didn't find Salonga's high speaking voice suitable. After all, Mulan is disguised as a man for much of the movie and has to deepen her voice to pull it off, so they looked to Ming-Na Wen instead.
I am Ming-Na Wen, aka the original Mulan.
The actress had starred in the Joy Luck Club a few years earlier, where she provided effective voiceover narration and played another character who was afraid to disappoint her parents. She may not have gotten to sing Mulan's big songs, but Wen gives the character a heart and soul.
Why else would I come back? You said you'd trust Ping. Why is Mulan any different?
Number 14. Rowan Atkinson as Zazu, the Lion King. He's most known for bringing the legendary but mostly silent Mr. Bean character to life. It's kind of ironic then that Rowan Atkinson's voice is forever embedded in 90s kids' brains. He voiced Zazu, the put-upon hornbill bird who serves as King Mufasa's trusted advisor.
You'd better have a good excuse for missing the ceremony this morning.
Oh, now look, Zazu, you've made me lose my lunch.
Ha! You'll lose more than that when the king gets through with you. He's as mad as a hippo with a hernia.
Unfortunately for him, no one seems to give him half the respect he thinks he deserves. Zazu is constantly flustered by the other animals' lack of propriety. Atkinson makes this fussy bird annoying enough that you just have to laugh when he's getting playfully pounced on by lions and squashed under a hippopotamus.
I can't be bothered to do it. And he said, oh, go on, it's Disney.
Yes.
You know, you may as well. And then, you know, I didn't realise that it would turn into the really very special film, which it did.
Number 13. Joan Cusack as Jessie, Toy Story 2. Woody is kind of terrified of this cowgirl when he first meets her. She's initially the most enthusiastic and high-energy toy you've ever seen, and then within minutes, she's having an existential crisis. That could actually describe a lot of Joan Cusack's characters. Here, Cusack lends her expressive voice to Jessie, who gives Toy Story 2 a lot of its most heartbreaking moments.
You never forget kids like Emily or Andy, but they forget you.
Luckily, Cusack is an actor with an incredible range of emotions. Whether she's having a rollicking good time or is experiencing a full-blown panic attack about going back into storage, Cusack always makes Jessie's intense emotions believable.
Anytime, you know, even me as a mom, I can exercise those muscles. You think, yes, you gotta believe in the Jessie in yourself. It's good.
Number 12. Nathan Lane as Timon, the Lion King. The sarcastic meerkat Timon and his warthog friend Pumbaa had kids all over the world singing Hakuna Matata. Ernie Sabella deserves his flowers for voicing the lovable Pumbaa, but Timon is the real showman of the pair.
Would you mind if Ernie read with me, since, you know, it was 3 people talking, so he came in and we improvised a little and then...
And then the decision was, we clearly had misthought the whole thing, and you were Timon and Pumbaa.
Coming from Broadway, Nathan Lane's spirited theatricality makes his character's charm and self-serving behavior gut-bustingly funny. The mile-a-minute wisecracks told in the actor's hilariously out-of-place Jersey accent make the character feel like an old-school comic in an animated meerkat's body.
Let me get this straight. You know her, she knows you, but she wants to eat him. And everybody's okay with this? Did I miss something?
The whole performance has that touch of snark that only Nathan Lane can bring. Number 11. James Woods as Hades, Hercules. Generally, Disney villains have a grandeur about them. They speak slowly and methodically, chewing on every word with theatrical relish. James Woods threw out everything we know a Disney villain to be when he played Hades, the slick, fast-talking ruler of the underworld.
You get her out. She goes. You stay. Oh, you know what slipped my mind? You'll be dead before you can get to her.
That's not a problem, is it?
His performance was marked by quips fired off at a breakneck pace and often improvised by the actor on the spot.
Whoa, is my hair out?
This made him electrifying to watch, even if his approach meant it took animators weeks to render his character's subtle movements from second to second. Woods received significant praise from major critics, and it's not hard to imagine why.
You auditioned for being in these movies. I guess everybody came in going, "Hello, I'm Hades," and I came in going, "Hey, Hades, how you doing? Nice to see you. Nice face." Yeah. I wish you could see yourself. You look fabulous.
Number 10. Jason Alexander as Hugo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hey, Quasi, what's going on out there? A fight? A flogging?
A festival.
You mean the Feast of Fools?
Uh-huh.
All right. Pour the wine and cut the cheese.
Jason Alexander made a name for himself on Seinfeld in the early 1990s, playing Jerry's insecure best friend George Costanza.
My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
One of the things that made his character so recognizable was his distinctive voice, which you might have noticed pops up in a very famous 90s Disney movie. In The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Alexander voices Hugo, one of the magical stone gargoyles who Quasimodo befriends on top of Notre Dame.
I thought he'd never leave. I'll be spitting feathers for a week.
Though Alexander is typically sullen as George, his Hugo is quite a bright spot in the film, providing advice and comfort for Quasimodo in equal measure.
Paris, the city of lovers, is glowing this evening. True, that's because it's on fire, but still there's l'amour.
With Hunchback, Alexander proves that he can be an affectionate friend, even if just with his voice.
Somewhere out there in the night, her heart is also alight, and I know the guy she just might be burning for.
Number 9. Minnie Driver as Jane Porter, Tarzan. Now here's one you might have forgotten about. 1999's Tarzan was the final film released during Disney's Renaissance era. While it certainly wasn't the most memorable from that crop of movies, it still has an excellent score and wonderful work from its voice cast, which includes Minnie Driver.
I'm in a tree with a man who talks to monkeys. Oh, I can't do this.
Driver plays Jane, the adventurous English woman who falls in love with Tarzan during her travels.
No. I'm Jane.
No. I'm Jane.
Not only did the Oscar-nominated actress give life to Jane with her voice, some of her mannerisms were also used in animating the character.
She would have a lot of exaggeration, the mouth shapes, and her eyebrows would, really drop down to show concern. So she was really expressive. So we took that and put it into the design.
At this point in Driver's career, she already had tons of charisma and romantic leading lady experience, which she brings in abundance to the role of Jane.
I suppose we should say goodbye.
Number 8. Meg Ryan as Anastasia Romanov. Anastasia features one of the most stacked casts of any animated film of the 1990s. From John Cusack to Kelsey Grammer to Hank Azaria, it's really a who's who.
By the unholy powers vested in me, I banish you with a curse.
While we can't deny the evil power of Christopher Lloyd's Rasputin, in this case, we've got to go with the titular role.
What are you circling me? What were you, a vulture in another life?
I'm sorry, Anya.
It's Anya.
Meg Ryan's performance of the Anastasia character feels like it could have been pulled straight from any of her live-action romantic comedies.
Dimitri?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really think I'm royalty?
You know I do.
Then stop bossing me around.
Ryan's Anastasia is feisty, funny, and strong. In short, she's everything a young girl could want in a leading lady. Pair that speaking performance with Liz Callaway's incredible singing stylings, and you've got yourself a princess for the ages. Number 7. Ralph Fiennes as Ramesses, the Prince of Egypt. 1998's The Prince of Egypt has a way more star-studded cast than you might remember.
Be still. Pharaoh speaks.
Beyond Val Kilmer as Moses himself, you've got Sandra Bullock and Jeff Goldblum as Moses' siblings, Miriam and Aaron, respectively.
Please, Moses, you must believe.
That's enough.
You were born of my mother, Yocheved.
Stop it.
You are our brother.
Now you go too far.
Not to mention Helen Mirren, Patrick Stewart, Danny Glover, and Michelle Pfeiffer. We could go on, but among that incredible lineup, one actor stands out for his impeccable embodiment of the villain, and that is Ralph Fiennes.
I am the morning and the evening star. Ramesses, it shall be as I say.
Fiennes voices Ramesses, Moses' adoptive brother and eventual adversary. The English actor is menacing in the role, but also brings a certain empathy to his performance that might be lost with a lesser skilled actor.
I bear the weight of my father's crown.
Do you still not understand what said he was?
He was a great leader.
And to think he does all of that with just his voice.
I do not know this god. Neither will I let your people go.
Ramesses, please, you must listen.
I will not be the weak link.
Number 6. Susan Egan as Megara, Hercules. Hercules is another one of those Disney movies where it seems like every name involved is a big one.
Instead of subtracting 2 years from your sentence, hey, I'm gonna add 2 on, okay? Give that your best shot.
But for every celebrity cast member like Danny DeVito, there were actors like Susan Egan. She may not have had the name recognition, but she had plenty of skill.
Let's see, what could be behind curtain number 1?
Meg!
Egan was primarily a Broadway actress before landing the role of Meg, and that probably explains the professional level of theatrics in her performance.
I'm no hero.
Sure you are. Everybody in Greece thinks you're the greatest thing since they put the pocket in pita.
With more than enough sass to go with that Disney princess sweetness, Egan proves that she's indeed the belle of the voice acting ball.
Congratulations, Wonder Boy. You'll make one heck of a god.
Number 5. Eddie Murphy as Mushu, Mulan. By the late 90s, Eddie Murphy was already one of the biggest stars in the world. From his run on Saturday Night Live to his slew of hilarious 80s comedies, he certainly was a gift to viewers around the world.
Did I hear someone ask for America? Let me hear you say, ow! Ah! That's close enough.
But in 1998, a Disney movie introduced him to a whole new audience.
I'm travel size for your convenience. If I was my real size, your cow here would die of fright. Down, Bessie.
In Mulan, Murphy voices the role of Mushu, a small dragon who attempts to prove his worth by guiding the titular character as she joins the army under a guise.
Punch him is how men say hello.
Murphy provides some great comedic relief, but also showcases a softer side as Mulan's helper.
I mean, you risked your life to help people you love. I risked your life to help myself. At least you had good intentions.
Mushu is without a doubt one of the best sidekicks in the Disney canon. Just remember, dragon, not lizard.
Ready, Mushu?
I am ready, baby! Like me!
Number 4. Jeremy Irons as Scar, The Lion King. In 1994, a host of Hollywood and theater legends joined forces to bring us one of the greatest animated films of all time.
What am I going to do with him?
He'd make a very handsome throw rug.
Zazu.
James Earl Jones's booming voice gave King Mufasa gravitas. But if there's one thing this phenomenal cast proves, it's that good guys never win. In The Lion King, it's the villain who completely steals the show.
Long live the king.
Even Darth Vader himself will be impressed with Jeremy Irons as the evil Scar.
Simba, what have you done?
There were wildebeest and...
The character design of Scar is slinky and suspicious, and Irons perfectly matches his vocal tics to that blueprint. It's voice acting at its finest, and we couldn't be more grateful to be spectators of it.
I did it so they can hear you.
I killed Mufasa.
Number 3. Angela Lansbury as Mrs. Potts, Beauty and the Beast. When you have such wonderful songs from the likes of Howard Ashman and Alan Menken, you need the vocal talent to match.
We'll be human again by midnight.
Oh, it's not that easy, Lumiere. These things take time.
So it makes sense that so many of the cast members of Beauty and the Beast come from the world of Broadway. Theater legend Jerry Orbach certainly proves his worth during Lumiere's rendition of Be Our Guest.
Go on, unfold your menu, take a glance, and then you'll be our guest. We our guest, be our guest.
but the inherent warmth Angela Lansbury brings to Mrs. Potts cannot be overstated.
With dessert, she'll want tea. And my dear, that's fine with me. While the cups do this, I'll chew it, I'll be bubbling, I'll be brewing.
Her jovial British accent and motherly demeanor bring just as much comfort to us as they do to Belle.
That was a very brave thing you did, my dear.
We all think so.
But I've lost my father, my dreams, everything. Cheer up, child. It'll turn out all right in the end.
And Beauty and the Beast would be nothing without her masterful delivery of the titular song.
Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. Beauty and the Beast.
Number 2. Tom Hanks as Woody. Toy Story. A buddy comedy, but make it animated, Toy Story broke barriers when it premiered in 1995. However, we don't think it would have been quite as successful if it wasn't for the stars at its helm.
My fault? If you hadn't pushed me out of the window in the first place.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you hadn't shown up your stupid little cardboard spaceship and taken away everything that was important to me.
Tim Allen is perfect as Buzz Lightyear, but Tom Hanks as Woody took whatever expectations we had and just outright shattered them.
A laser? How come you don't have a laser, Woody?
It's not a laser. It's a little light bulb that blinks.
What's with him?
Laser envy.
Hanks is such an important piece of casting in the movie, partly because of his uncanny ability to make us root for characters we might otherwise dislike.
Why would Andy want me?
Why would Andy want you? Look at you! You're a Buzz Lightyear! Any other toy would give up his moving parts just to be you.
Woody's particular brand of orneriness somehow adds to his charm, and we all have Hanks to thank for it. You just can't help but love that grouch, no matter how much he grinds your gears.
I've set my laser from stun to kill.
Ah, great, great. Yeah, and if anyone attacks us, we can blink them to death.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Robin Williams as Genie, Aladdin. Throughout the 1990s, there were only so many projects that didn't feature Robin Williams, from live action to the world of animation.
Humans don't have tails. They have big bottoms that they wear with bad shorts.
And while he might have lent his voice to other animated films such as 1992's Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest, nothing can stop him as the genie in Aladdin.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
Williams lays the blueprint for how vocal acting should be.
Just be yourself.
And this is not just the nostalgia talking. Everything about the performance is just downright amazing.
I'm in the mood to help you, dude. You ain't never had a friend like me.
The way he delivers comedic gem after comedic gem combined with his genuine warmth make this an all-time great, especially for a family-friendly movie.
Then what better way to make your grand entrance on the streets of Agrabah than riding your very own brand new camel?
We certainly will never forget how special Williams was, as he immortalized himself with performances like this.
Wish for something outrageous today. I want the Nile. Wish for the Nile. Try that.
I wish for the Nile.
No way! How does that feel good?
Did your favorite 90s voice acting performance make the list? Tell us in the comments.
I came back because I'm not quitting on you. I'm willing to go the distance. How about you?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Ms. Mojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.